Allow me to take a minute and ask you a question. If I were to ask you, what is currently the greatest threat to mankind, what would you say? Would it be global terrorism, perhaps widespread disease or famine, or maybe the negative effects of mankind's fingerprint on the earth? Although I agree that those topics are all worthy of concern, the major humanitarian crisis that I feel is the greatest threat to humankind is a widespread deficiency in self-worth. How can I be certain of this widespread lack of self-worth? Well, it's reflected in our narcissistic, social media-obsessed society. According to MayoClinic.org, narcissistic personality disorder, one of several types of personality disorders, is a mental condition in which people have an inflated sense of their own importance, a deep need for excessive attention and admiration, troubled relationships, and a lack of empathy for others. But behind this mask of extreme confidence lies a fragile self-esteem that's vulnerable to the slightest criticism. A narcissistic personality disorder causes problems in many areas of life, such as relationships, work, school, or financial affairs. People with narcissistic personality disorder may be generally unhappy and disappointed when they're not given the special favors or admiration that they believe they deserve. They may find their relationships unfulfilling, and others may not enjoy being around them. With that being said, although logic would state that a person with a narcissistic personality would mean that they have tremendous love for themselves, the truth of the matter is that they are actually severely lacking in self-love. Although they're completely self-absorbed, they need constant affirmation and continual validation that they're significant, which leads to excessively crying out for attention through social media or other means. The irony is that people portray confidence and oftentimes a perfect life on social media and do their best to inspire envy by posting pics of their breakfast, a sunset, a selfie, or whatever amazing event they're attending that you're not. But ask yourself this question: if people are eating all these amazing foods, experiencing all these amazing times, and attending all these amazing events, then why do they feel the need to take time out in order to take a picture, edit it, and post it on social media? Why not just enjoy whatever the thing is and enjoy it for themselves and those around them? The answer is that they're desperate for social validation. They not only want, but need others to tell them how amazing their life is because they're not quite sure of themselves. Otherwise, they would just enjoy whatever it is and be grateful for it. But why this need for social validation? This brings us back to our original quote: you can't love someone until you love yourself. Before I share what you need to do in order to attain this self-love, allow me to say that universally, all human beings have the same needs. Psychologists have been investigating this topic since the beginning of time. What lies at the core of every human being? Concerning this question, one of the founders of educational psychology, John Dewey, stated that it is the desire of every human being to be significant. In other words, everybody wants to matter. Upon hearing this statement, I gave it some thought, and it occurred to me that this is absolutely correct. Think about it, the things that people do in order to feel significant. We play sports, we act in plays, we wear expensive clothes, and drive fancy cars, all in an attempt to feel significant. But I'm going to take Dewey's hypothesis one step further, and I'm going to say that not only do people want to be significant, but if we were to dig a bit deeper into the very core of all human beings, I believe that each and every single person on earth possesses a tremendous desire to be loved. I firmly believe that the desire to be loved is at the core of all of us. All other desires stem from that. Everything that we do in life is ultimately an attempt to be loved. That's why we try so hard to stand out and to feel significant, because at the end of the day, we simply want to be loved. The problem lies in the fact that most people do not genuinely feel loved. And so this leads us back to our initial discussion. This is the desperate search that so many people have embarked on in life, that there is so much media obsession about, and the compulsive behaviors for social validation stem from the desire to be loved. The problem is that despite many people's best efforts to attain the feeling of being loved, they all fall short of what they're looking for. Sure, maybe someone can post a pic and it gets a few dozen or even maybe a few hundred likes, but the feeling quickly fades and then it's on to the next pic. The truth is that the desire to be loved can only be fulfilled by one thing. And so the question becomes, what is this one thing and how do we find it? It's actually very simple. It's easily attained and readily available for anyone to achieve, and yet millions of people live each day lacking in the love that they not only desire, but deserve. The good news is that you can achieve self-love in an instant with one simple realization. You see, I too was once like most people. I too was searching for this feeling and attempting to get it through constant attention-seeking behaviors, only to be left feeling frustrated, sad, depressed, and ultimately still not feeling loved. And so I searched. I read books, religious texts, and even looked in the place where all wisdom can be found, my very own soul. And then one day it hit me, from out of nowhere. I heard a voice on the inside say, "William, do you know that you are loved infinitely? You are loved more than you could ever comprehend or imagine. The creator of the universe knows you and loves you unconditionally, and it will be so forever." This realization was life-changing. It was literally like a light bulb going off in my head. It was a feeling I'd never had before, and to this day, almost 10 years later, I can still attest to the fact that it was the most important life-changing realization of my life. You see, so many of us go through life constantly trying to win the affection of others. As I'd mentioned earlier, whether it be a parent, friend, or romantic partner, we're always seeking that feeling of being loved. But after this tremendous realization, I no longer desperately sought the love of others. Rather, I knew in my heart that I was already loved by the greatest power that's ever existed. And because I had the love of my Creator, I could in turn love myself. After attaining this sense of self-worth and love, I no longer had to seek it out. I already had it, and because I had the love of my Creator and in turn love of myself, I carried with me a new sense of self-confidence that could be sensed by everyone around me. This divine love not only poured into my soul, but also through my spirit and into the world. It was now possible for me to share my love with others, and my life was changed forever. After I'd come to this realization, my life completely changed. I met my wife, we started a family, found our dream home, and experienced a whole multitude of other blessings that are too long to get into in this video. But imagine for a second carrying with you, at all times, a tremendous feeling of self-worth and confidence. Imagine the impact that would have on your life. Think of all the goals you could achieve. You could pursue a career, have genuine, true relationships, enjoy an amazing life, and even find your soulmate and life partner. So allow me to take a minute and tell you something with the utmost confidence, that right now, in this very moment, you are loved infinitely, more than your human mind could ever understand or comprehend by your divine Creator. Regardless of what you have or haven't done up to this point in your life, you are loved unconditionally, and it will be so for eternity. Let this sink in, process it, listen to it over and again, repeat it to yourself, allow it to take hold in your soul. This realization is life-changing. Once you accept this reality, you can in turn love yourself, and you can carry with you true self-worth and confidence. You can carry this with you each and every day and share this divine love with the rest of the world. I promise you that your life will get better and continue to grow and improve from this day forward. I encourage you, go into the world with this newfound sense of self-love and know in your heart with this divine love that you are unstoppable. May you live a blessed life, and until next time, this is William. Thanks for watching.